Welcome to NBA Showtime, presented by AT&T. Here's your host, Maria Taylor.
Stephon Castle, he was big in Game 4. He had 20 points, but still the Spurs walk away with the loss. But they return back home with an opportunity to get a win against the Timberwolves. And again, both of these teams looking to make it to the Western Conference Finals. We're going to get you set for tip-off here with NBA Showtime. First, welcome inside the studio, Maria Taylor alongside the Hall of Famers. 4 straight nights, guys. We're getting into it.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, and Carmelo Anthony.
3.5.
3.5, right, okay.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get a break, or so they say we will. Let's talk about this Game 5, because this is a very pivotal matchup between these two teams. The Spurs are 16-3 when leading a series 3-2, and just 1-13 when they fall behind 3-2. Now, on the other side, Minnesota has won both series. It led 3-2 in franchise history. But ahead of today's key Game 5, Timberwolves sixth man Naz Reid spoke with Zora Stevenson at Morning Shoot-Around.
All right, Naz, everything that this team has been through continues to go through. What type of resilience has this group shown you in the playoffs so far?
Got a bunch of toughness. A lot of guys who, who's been through a lot, who've been through situations, has been here before in these type of situations. The previous 2 years and before that, maybe the last 5 actually. We kind of know what adversity looks like in a matter of different ways. Just kind of try to figure out and rectify it and understand, okay, that's what we got to do, and that's how we're dealing with it.
After the elbow that you took to the face and the ejection by Wemby, you know he's going to come out passionate tonight, ready to go. How do you counter that?
I mean, just keep doing what we do. Keep being us. Just don't let, their game as a team affect, what we do. They're going to try to play fast, which has been pretty effective for them, but we're kind of pretty much locked in on, a lot of key factors, and that's one of them. But just making sure, we handle business, keep being physical, keep being solid, and just keep playing a smart brand of basketball.
The league decided that there's no further punishment for Wemby besides the ejection. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm happy. I'm happy. I just want to be able to play full healthy team, get a chance to compete against them and at full capacity and just, make things happen and make things make things in our favor. So, I don't really mind it. I don't really care. I just want to hoop, and I'm sure he wants to hoop. And, that's part of the basketball. It's playoffs. So, that's something I'm sure we both are, everybody on the team has that same mindset, both teams. And like I said, it is what it is. I'm actually happy.
Appreciate that answer. Your coach has talked about your defense. Ant has even said when you're defending at a high level, this team is hard to beat. What kind of impact? We know what you can do on offense. What kind of impact do you want to have on that end?
Huge presence, whether it's on the ball or defending at the rim, making my presence felt. We can get to a lot of lineups as well if I'm defending at a high level. I could be at the 3. We're very, very, very hard to beat when I'm at the 3. But like I said, like they said, just being consistent on defensive end and making plays happen.
Appreciate the time.
Yep.
I love Naz Reid's answer. We want the Spurs at full strength, okay? That's how we want to win the series. But also, he's been pivotal so far for the Timberwolves. He's scored at least in double figures the last 7 games for them. Been probably the most consistent player outside of Anthony Edwards, especially as he's dealt with those injuries. So his impact in this series is very important. He kind of spoke to it a little bit in that interview with Zora, too, Melo.
Well, he did. First of all, shout out to Naz for that answer. We didn't want Wemby to be suspended. We want to see the smoke. We want to see the action. And I think Minnesota wants to see that action and Wemby out there. But he also, he said pain is a weakness that's leaving the body, right? So to me, that tells me where their mentality is at. And that's their MO. They're physical. They're making Wemby work for everything that's out there. They're tough. They walk the walk. They talk the talk. So I love where they at right now, and they're a very confident group. Ant Edwards is back to being Ant, back-to-back 30s. So Ant is leading that group ever since he got back into the starting lineup. And Naz Reid, you mentioned that. Naz he's playing like a starter off the bench, right? So when it comes to his performance and his productivity, he's giving you that. That's the confidence that he's bringing off of that bench for that second unit. So it's beautiful to see Naz just in that mindset. And he took that elbow like a G. So now we back tonight.
And don't remember, he kind of rolled his ankle a little bit, too. Like, he got beat up, basically, essentially, in Game 4, but was able to come back and play the remainder of the game.
Yeah, if I'm looking at this from Minnesota's perspective, we're up, meaning how I feel about this series. One, because we frustrated your best player, and we got him out of character, right? So I feel good about what we have been doing. Now, we haven't been shooting the ball, and I'm talking about we. They haven't been shooting the ball in particularly well, but, you know, this is a physical team, right? And the way they play is they beat you up, and hopefully this series prolongs, and they have the strength and the stamina to win a 6 or 7 game series. So that's their mantra. That's what they live by. They've been here, you know, the last 2-3 years. They know what it takes to get to the Western Conference Finals, whereas San Antonio, I'm not saying they're young and experienced. This is a very good team, and they can win a championship this year. But they still learning on the fly. So I like where Minnesota is. I like that they have Wemby frustrated, and let's see how he approaches the game today.
That was great analysis. That was great analysis. Whose day is this today? Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
ABC.
The best analysis of the day.
We wanted to break that down. That was great analysis. Right there. Happy birthday. We're going to let you get out of here without letting the people know. You know? We talk about Minnesota, though?
Minnesota.
No. But no.
No more brownies for you.
No more. I'm going to be so nice to him the rest of the night.
We had to let the people know. But, you know, I agree with everything you guys are saying. I love Naz's approach. And one thing he said is, like, when he's playing the 3, he's a problem because he has the ability to post up. He has the ability to play fast. And he has a pretty darn good handle to where he can get to what they need. So Minnesota's ability to play different lineups is a matchup problem. The problem is, can they stop that other guy on the other end? And how do you do that? I think tonight, you can't give Wemby the same dose, meaning the same look. You can't give, he needs to see different bodies, from Naz to Rudy to McDaniels. I even throw a smaller guard on there just to throw him off and to continue to frustrate him. Because if Rudy's not on the court, because of frustration, you give yourselves a chance to win.
Meanwhile, if you're Wemby and you're coming back into this game, obviously you left with frustration. He's a young player, but he's always been poised, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
This is the first time that we've really seen him shaken. So I'm just curious, what's the mentality or the thought process he should have coming into this game?
I don't think he was shaken. I think he got caught in the moment.
Yeah.
And this is playoff basketball. He's inexperienced when it comes to that. He's a young star in this league. But these last 48 hours, I'm sure Wemby just sat there and watched his elbow for 48 hours straight, right? And also, we talking about a young player who was so much poised. The fact that Pop got to meet him at the airport, like Popovich meeting him, like coming to talk to him, don't worry about this is what you got to do, you shouldn't have did this, but hey, this is how we move forward. To me, it's the support system that he have around him. And he's also smart enough to know, okay, I messed up, I made this move. But y'all not going to punk me either. Right. So I put myself on the line and let you guys know that you're not going to punk me. I know how you guys want to play. But now let's play basketball because the elbow is out the way.
Those are like the highs and lows that we've seen from Wemby so far in this playoffs, too. I mean, he's dealt with a little bit of everything. We've seen the concussion. I mean, 39-point game to being ejected in a game. He's seen it all.
He's getting a front row view of what it's like to be a superstar in the league and a superstar for your team. That's what happens. The defenses are predicated on frustrating you, finding ways to either get you out of the game, off the floor, or somewhat out of the series. So he has, the regular season is one way you can play your way through it, but when you come to playoff series and you move round to round, it gets tougher, and the defenses play more physical because they feel like, what advantage? You have all of the advantages. What advantage do we have? We have to play physical with you to get you out of your game.
I'm just looking for a Game 3 type performance from Wemby. He has it on his mind, and I trust.
For sure.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
So a 39-point, 15 rebound, 5 block game from Wemby. All right, we'll turn our attention back to tonight's game shortly, but first we have to pause on what has become a very sad day in the NBA. Game 4 at Philadelphia on Sunday, New York set a franchise record for points in a playoff game and tied the NBA record for most three-pointers in a playoff game with 25. And by the way, after falling behind 2-1 in the first round to Atlanta, the Knicks have found their groove, and it really looks good. They've rolled through 3 straight wins over the Hawks and then took a quick 3-0 lead on the 76ers. And by the way, in Game 4 in Philly on Mother's Day, New York took care of business to secure a 7th straight win and a 2nd straight trip to the conference finals.
Bunch right here, Bunch. Come on, please. My first game. Bunch right here. Drop 50, man. Thank you.
The last time the Knicks played a closeout game, on the road was against the Atlanta Hawks. They had almost 100 points in the first half. Can they replicate that?
Filling in for OG again, and what is your mindset?
Closing the team out is one of the toughest things you can do. It takes a full team effort, so we've got to do it together.
Towns, he's been the facilitator. He has turned into an excellent playmaker. McBride, corner three, nails it. Double team on Embiid, turns it over. Knicks looking to push it every opportunity.
Right wing McBride, sidestep. He checked three over George. Hits again! Deuce McBride cannot miss right now.
He hasn't hit the rim yet.
A Deuce chance start already. Oozing out for the Crowder for Jalen Brunson. Crossing over Barlow, left wing.
Inside, reverse, he's got it. Sweet move from Jalen Brunson.
It got stolen by McBride, and then Brunson parries a far corner three.
It's a Knicks avalanche from downtown. 29-point lead. A sweep completed here in Philadelphia.
The second consecutive season, the Knicks are on their way to the Eastern Conference Finals.
25 made threes that tied an NBA playoff record. Just what was the key?
Everything started with the defensive side of the ball. One quarter at a time, one possession at a time. Just go out there and playing for each other.
And that is how the Knicks secured their spot in the conference finals on Sunday. And remember, the Thunder, they joined them by sweeping the Lakers last night. The other two series are 2-2. We'll see Game 5 of the Timberwolves and Spurs at the top of the hour. And the Cavs and Pistons, they're all tied up. The home team won each of the first 4 games in that series. And that was the game that we had on our air just yesterday. It's almost becoming a blur at this point. Like, which game was on? That game was on. It was a lot of games. But one thing we will not forget is what Donovan Mitchell was able to do in the second half, scoring 39 points. We saw the Cleveland Cavaliers go on a 22-zip run coming out of the locker room, and that completely changed the game. And ultimately, the home team has won. VC, that's been the thing. But now you got to go back to Detroit. Talk to me about how Cleveland can bottle up whatever they're manufacturing at home and take it on the road.
I think first and foremost, it has to be the hit-first mentality. And it's, once again, led by their stars. You can't go into Detroit and allow their fans to dictate and take over the arena, which gives, obviously, the home team that energy. James Harden, Donovan Mitchell needs to be the catalyst. I mean, James, to me, I think this is that game where you allow Donovan to continue to go. But James, you get into the paint, just like you've been doing, get your big fella going. I think Evan Mobley, this is an Evan Mobley game. This is a big game for him. You know, you're still going to need James to play the way he's been playing. You need Donovan Mitchell to play the way he's been playing. But they need Evan Mobley. That game he had, it needs to travel. And I think if they do that, they give themselves a chance to win on the road.
And one thing we've seen from James Harden, he's cleared up the turnovers, the assists, the things that you guys have been asking him for. That has certainly been what we've seen while they've been at home over the course of the last 2 games.
Well, I mean, James said he don't listen to the noise.
He said, what chatter?
He knows.
Looks like it.
He knows he's been turning the ball over, man. And it's hard not to put yourself in that situation and look back and say, this is where I need to fix this. But I do believe James have to continue to be aggressive. He was very aggressive in the last game. And also Donovan Mitchell. Like, you can't go 0-4, whatever you did, and put that much pressure on yourself to score 39 or something.
0-for-6 to start the game.
You cannot, thank you for that. You cannot have that mentality. You're on the road now. You got to go. You got to come out and assert yourself from the beginning. So on the road, turnovers got to be low. Not giving up offensive rebounds and second chance points. You got to win those battles. The 50-50 basketballs that's out there, you got to win those battles. And you got to win those battles by a large margin, especially going into that territory where Detroit they not buying it. Yeah. Them young boys ain't buying what's going on. So we home, being in Detroit, them young boys is coming to play, and they want to see if Donovan and James can duplicate that.
For me, I think Cleveland, what you have been doing against Cade has been working, right? He's tired. He hasn't been efficient over the last few games, the last 2 games. He's not shooting the ball particularly well, and he's turning the ball over at a high rate. So that's to your advantage. Now, how you capitalize off that with their best player not playing well? Well, James, take care of the ball, be efficient, and play the way you played, right? And Donovan Mitchell, treat this game like you treated it coming into game 4, game 3, right? I know you had a bad first half, but the way you played that second half, that's the effort that you're going to need to win on Detroit's floor. I remember, when we played Detroit back in 2003, and I didn't have the talent that they have on their team, but I wanted to take it upon myself on my team that, look, I'm going to set this tone when we go in here and play game 1. I'm going to set the tone and see how we can react to that, right? So we ended up winning game 1, lost the series. But my point is, my team rallied behind me, for the next few games. And in that game, I felt like I had to be Superman. Regardless of what my guys, I had to be Superman in that game. So Donovan Mitchell, he should approach the game that way.
By the way, we never got to it on our show, but Grant Hill brought it up during the game about you going off and a half against the Bucks. And you looked at him and said, what? What'd you say?
I just told him a little reference about my favorite, one of my favorite players growing up, MJ, what he used to do in, in some quarters or some halves. And I felt like channeling that at that moment. Being
you called your shot? You said, I'm going to go do that?
Yeah, I told him I was going to do it. And
then what'd you do?
I ended up going out and putting on a great effort.
Not him trying to be modest. T-Mac, don't be like
modest
that.
T-Mac,
right, is a new person. I've never met him. I don't. Wembanyama, just 22 years old in his 3rd season. He's coming off his first ever career ejection in Game 4, but ready to go to battle today. And guess what? The Cousins, they're at the big board taking a look at the Defensive Player of the Year's impact.
Thanks, Maria. All right, guys, we at the big board, and we're going to break down a play. We're going to break down Wemby's impactful plays on the defensive side, leading to the great offense. And right here, you just watch Wemby's action, his communication, pointing, making sure everybody's in position. Look at that activity from Wemby on the defensive side. And here, he's in the drop coverage, making sure Conley cannot turn the corner. Now he gets back in position, and it's one-on-one with Rudy right here. Cuz, what you see?
And like you said, being that he's able to stop the ball, still get back in front of his guy, you see weak side guy, Castle, can stay home. Vassell can stay home. Fox can stay home. You do not give up the three-point shot because of Wemby's ability to get back, and they do not have to help, knowing Rudy Gobert in this instance is going to have to try to score on a great shot blocker and defender in Wemby.
Guys, watch this smart play by Wemby. He's going to allow Gobert to get by him. Why? Because he doesn't want to pick up a foul, and he knows he can meet him at the rim, and he does exactly that. What this does now, he gets the rebound, gets the ball up ahead, very smart play, moving the ball around the perimeter, the defense is rotating, and he finds a wide-open Champagnie. When they plan this speed right here, this style of basketball, it is tough to guard.
Maria, Cousins on the big board. Back to you.
They got him out the sandbox to the big board. Good job, guys. All right, Jay Croucher, he is back for today's Star Player Parlay from DraftKings Sportsbook. Give us your picks, Jay.
Yeah, I'm going to stay on the theme of Wemby and take Wemby to have at least 4 blocks tonight. Wemby, in the past 5 games where he didn't get ejected, he is averaging 6.4 blocks per game, which is obviously completely ridiculous. Expect he's going to be fairly motivated tonight after what went down in Game 4. Wemby kind of plays defense like a do-it-all free safety, a Kyle Hamilton type, which is handy because he's about to go up against the best wide receiver in the NBA, which is, of course, Ayo Dosunmu. I'm going to take Ayo to score 12-plus points tonight. Ayo has been catching the ball better than he's been shooting it in this series. He's shooting just 25% from the floor. I'm going to bank on that to regress as he ramps up from his calf injury. And then third and final leg, 2 words, Naz Reid.
Storylines, and those 3 guys were there to call it. Mike Tirico, Jamal Crawford, and Reggie Miller. Welcome back, guys. Great to hear from you and hear what you guys are thinking about going into Game 5.
Thank you, Marie. Do you want us to sing Happy Birthday now, or you want us to wait?
Later. You can do it later. It's fine.
Okay, we'll wait. Yeah, of course, Wembanyama, that's story 1, and Anthony Edwards on the other side, story 1 for Minnesota. But, guys, can you dive a little bit deeper? Some key players in this pivotal Game 5. I'll start with you, and a player who we thought would carry them when Wemby was out, De'Aaron Fox, didn't in Game 4.
And he's a little banged up. Obviously, he could put baskets together. Clutch player of the year before in his past. He was brought here for these times when they're struggling a little bit. no Wembanyama, maybe in foul trouble, whatever it might be, he's the guy you know can get buckets repeatedly and bring a calm to their offense. I'm looking for a big game from him.
Ankle injury in Game 4, warmed up short time ago, and as you've heard, will go in Game 5. Reg, what about Minnesota? Julius Randle's the one we're talking about, but there are other guys who are stepping up since Julius hasn't so far.
It'll be interesting because the big chatter is, should the Timberwolves go smaller? Everyone thought it would be Gobert and Wemby show, but to me, Naz Reid, his ability to stretch the floor. Because what does that do? That keeps Wemby out of the paint. We know how great he is at rim protecting, but when you have Naz Reid on the floor, his ability to stretch out, and he can take the ball off the dribble. So I think he keeps Wemby honest. Great Game 4. Can he back it up here in Game 5?
And, of course, a series takes over a city, especially with teams like the Timberwolves and the Spurs. But, Maria, I was up there in New York with you all. People were asking about this series. There is buzz after the elbow in Game 4. So a lot of energy, a lot of excitement for Game 5 coming up in about a half hour.
Yeah, appreciate it, Mike. A lot of energy, excitement here, too, because Jamal Crawford must have wanted all the smoke when he said that he could beat any NBA analyst.
You good, boy?
I'm standing here.
Everything good? Just see you, though.
I know they're all better. I said right now, not in the past.
Don't back down. Don't back down, Jamal.
One-on-one game, I'm standing on that. Top 5 DOA.
I thought we was on the same team, Mark.
Don't let him break us up now.
What we doing, Mark? 3 dribbles?
3 dribbles. 3 dribbles.
Okay. We can do
dribbles.
Pick a
No
block.
hezzy left for you
Pick a
either.
block.
Nah, ain't no block work. I'm good on the block.
All right. We'll actually let y'all go, but just know they're coming up with a game plan over here. So get ready for the Western Conference Finals. Get ready. Hey, listen, we are waiting to see if it'll be the Timberwolves or San Antonio that are going to play the Thunder. They've already pulled off the sweep against the Lakers. They have now won 8 straight games. As you can take a look there, it's been more than impressive. And LeBron James, after his season officially ended with that sweep to OKC, here's what he had to say about his career.
LeBron, you've spoken to us about retirement more than at any other point in your career as this season played out. What do you feel like's left for you in the NBA?
Well, I think you guys asked me about it, and I've answered questions. Yeah, I don't think I've come out and like, oh, retirement is coming. So, I mean, with my future, I don't know, obviously. I mean, this is, obviously, we're still fresh from, obviously losing, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously, as it stands right now tonight. I got a lot of time. I'll sit back, like I think I said it last year after we lost, I think, to Minnesota, to go back and recalibrate with my family and talk with them and spend some time with them. And then when the time comes, obviously, you guys know what I decide to do.
In year 23, how different did this feel walking off the court, not knowing what the future holds for you versus past years when we knew you were coming back to play?
I don't know. I mean, I guess when you get like over 40, you start forgetting that happened. So I don't even remember many of the last times walking off the court. But listen, like I said, I mean, I left everything I could out on the floor. I control what I can control, and I can leave the floor saying like, I mean, even though I hate losing, obviously, but I was locked in on what we needed to do. Made sure that I tried to make sure our guys were locked in on what we needed to do throughout the postseason, throughout 10 games. And obviously we fell a little short, obviously, but I mean, I'm not looking at, my year as a disappointment. That's for damn sure. Especially, I was put into some positions that I've never played in my career before, actually in my life. I've never been a third option in my life. So to be able to, thrive in that role for that period of time and then have to step back into the role that I've been accustomed with over my career, over my life of playing a sport, and be able to thrive under that, and then just my teammates allowing me to lead them under extreme circumstances, that was pretty cool for me at this stage of my career.
LeBron, if you don't know what the future holds, I guess that means inherently this could be it. Do you allow yourself to kind of those last handshakes and this last press conference?
Last handshakes? No, I don't know, because I have no idea. I mean, none of us in here know what the future holds. None of us. Nobody has any idea what the future holds, and I don't either. Like I said, I'll take time to recalibrate and look over the season and see what's best for my future. And when I get to that point, everyone will know.
Hey, Bron. You could play at this level for another 5 years or so if you wanted. When you reflect mentally and spiritually on whether you want to keep going, what's the decision process going to be like for you behind closed doors?
I don't know. I think for me, it's about the process. Like, if I can commit to still being in love with the process of showing up to the arena 5.5 hours before a game to start preparing for a game, giving everything I got, diving for loose balls, and doing everything that you know that it takes to go out and play, and showing up to practices, 11 o'clock practice, I'm there at 8 o'clock, preparing my body, preparing my mind, preparing to practice, to put the work in, and so I think for me, I've always been in love with the process and not the aftermath of like, okay, well, we won that game, or we won a championship, or I've always enjoyed the process and more than the outcome, so I think that would be a big factor. And then also, have a conversation with my 12-year-old daughter. That's a big factor. And my 19-year-old son is entering his second year at Arizona, and my wife as well. So they're a huge factor in any decision I've made. So they'll be a big part of it as well.
I know say so. It's incredibly interesting to hear like a little bit of an introspective LeBron James at the end of this season. 23 seasons in, we saw all the accolades kind of running alongside him while he was talking there at the podium. And you guys have all been in the position where you're just trying to figure out where the ending of the career is going to be, what's the period going to be at the end of the sentence when it comes to my career. You did it for the longest, Vince. I just want to start with you. So when you hear what LeBron is saying and kind of thinking through, can you help us understand, maybe decode what he's going through right now?
How do you want to go through the entire process? And I don't think it's anything but the summertime first. You go through the summer, and are you still in workout preparation mode, or are you in chill mode? And when you're in chill mode, can you get that engine going again? Can you find the fire again? That's the thing. And from there, you go through all of the processes that you go to. And I mean, year 22, I hit it, and I hit that, and I was like, I think I want to do it, but I'm not sure. And each day, it mentally got tougher and tougher to prepare, or to get into the weight room, or to go shoot, or go do these things. And finally, you kind of let it go. For him, he's in a situation where it's like, he doesn't need, nothing to accomplish, nothing to prove. You just go out there and play for the love. That's why I was still playing it, because I loved it. I think that's why we all continue to do it, because we love the game. When you don't love it, and you don't want to go through everything that comes with it, it's tough. That's when you kind of take a step back.
Away from it.
So I think that's what, when he said he's processing it, he's processing everything that's going to be said from family. Then you look back and say, what do I want? And do they line up? Do they match? Does it feel right? And you go from there. So I think he's going to take a little time.
Yeah, he's played the last 8 seasons with the Lakers. He just mentioned, too, that, I've never been third fiddle to anything in life, ever. And so, like, his role is continuing to evolve, too, towards the end of his career. And that's something that's challenging to deal with and accept, but it's a part of the process, right, Melo?
Trust me, I've dealt with it. And I wasn't 22. I was 19 years, but I've dealt with the changing of the mindset, right? The game is still there. The skill set would always be there. The way you prepare for the game would always be there. But once they want your role to change, then you got to shift your mindset. And are you willing to shift your mindset and accept whatever that role is? And I think for him, he went through that phase of like, man, I ain't never been third fiddle to nobody. Like, this is what I do. I've been doing it for 22, 23 years. But I got to do this for what's right for the team. And to have that perspective on just the game of basketball with that experience, it allows him to go out there and be the third option on the Laker team, and allowing Luka and Austin to lead that team and to lead that organization. Oh, now Austin is out. Oh, Luka is out. Oh, y'all want me to put the cape back on?
No problem.
I've been doing that because of my preparation in the game, that I've been staying the course for 22, 23 years. So it doesn't change right now.
That's why it's going to be so hard for Bron to walk away, right? He's still in control of like what he could do on the basketball court, whereas, you know, some of us, it's taken away from us.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So the fact that he hasn't really dealt with any injuries to take him out of a season or seasons, and he's able to still play at this level, and he still loves the process, right? It's the process is the major, right? It's tough, right? So if he still loves that, and the way he played this year, Luka is young, wasn't in the playoffs, right? It's a lot of young guys, wasn't in the playoffs. KD's not young, but there's a lot of, and Austin Reeves, his teammate, missed some time in the playoffs, and this guy's 41 years old and the most durable player in the league. So if he still loves it, if he still can wake up when that time is right, come back for another season.
Okay, he's an unrestricted free agent this offseason. What do you guys want to see happen? What would you like to see?
I honestly would love to see him go back to Cleveland.
Yeah?
Yeah. That would be a nice, you know, welcome back home and a nice send him off the right way.
You want something nostalgic.
Yeah.
It's tough for me to pick because I've been in the position to where people love to see you come back, but I'm like, whatever he chooses to do, it's the right decision. We're always going to feel like it's the wrong decision, regardless. You know, if he comes back, for what? And if he doesn't,
why not?
Why not? So I'm in support.
I'm cool either way because we on this side of it now, and we also understand that there's a lot of life on this side of the game of basketball, right? So, you know, you start putting things in perspective. Do I want to do this again? Shoot around and travel and miss being away from my kids? He said one important thing. I got to talk to my daughter. Like that's going to do it.
That's the one.
That's the one that's going to make the actual decision. So to answer your question, I'm not going to put him in no jersey, no team. He's going to take his time, go vacay and travel the world and go to volleyball games.
We'd love to see it.
You know the beautiful thing for him, though? LeBron James is able to walk away from this game on his own accord if he chooses to.
Absolutely.
And everybody does not get that opportunity, like you said, because there's some guys who still love it who could not, and then there's the ones who are forced out. LeBron is when he's ready to walk away and he's tired of it, he's welcome to do it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You did it too, though, champ.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of guys in the league who can
made 3 examples. One guy that did it, one guy that was forced out.
We got it all right here on NBA Showtime, whatever you need. Okay? Every single perspective.
And scoring opportunities are how you can find those different ways of scoring. And we talked about it the last game. It's like, you have to do something different. Don't get him a steady diet of what you've been doing the last 3 or 4 games. Mix it up, right? And that's getting out in the transition and running and positioning yourselves, right? They haven't seen that from you. So hopefully, you know, as we're talking up here, like we thinking these guys are listening to us, that is some advice that I think can help him and his team.
They are. They might be sitting somewhere because sometimes you guys say things that we see happen in the game. But listen, it's a completely different game when Wemby is there. For Julius Randle to be effective, he would have to do what in this game?
Well, we don't know what Julius is going to show up today. Like, you know, in order for him to be effective, we need the Julius Randles who was Robin to Ant-Man. And if he shows up with that aggressiveness, I'm not saying make every shot and shoot every shot, but his aggressiveness and the mindset that it takes to go up in this arena up against a angry Wemby, you know, who's mad about the ejection. I want to see Julius Randle put his imprint on this basketball game. To T-Mac's point, how do you get yourself going? How do you get out of having 2, 3, 12-point games in a row? You get out in transition. You run the court. You got to work extra hard to get out of whatever that mindset is. So I want to see him run the lanes, get some early duck-ins. When Wemby is guarding somebody else, I want to see you get some early duck-ins in the early offense.
I was going to say.
Head just shaking.
I was like, that's what I was going to say, because that's one thing we kind of yelled at the TV, the screen last time. Is like, okay, if the shot is not going on,
Oh, my God. Thank you, guys. Oh my God! Look, thanks, Edwin.
It's a party. It's a party.
This is a real question. Are y'all sick of me? Like, May, y'all feel like it's like Mother's Day, it's a birthday. That's a lot, T-Mac.
No, that's good.
That's a lot of taking your shine.
Happy birthday. No, it's yours. Happy birthday.
Maria's month, you know?
It's Maria's month. And y'all are just living in it.
We just here.
Hey, make sure y'all give me a candle. Y'all gonna sing during halftime?
Come on, Jules. Yeah, we'll do the halftime.
Show us tonight. We got a surprise for you.
You do? Another one?
Yeah, we coming on. Somebody coming out.
Okay.
We got somebody for you. Not yet, though. Somebody coming out.
Okay. I was like, who's coming out?
Later on.
Listen, guys, I've had to spend Mother's Day and my birthday here with y'all.
We're going to have 2 more birthdays on this show.
Yeah.
This one and that one.
Yeah, they're coming.
Both of their birthdays are going to happen during the Western Conference Finals.
I expect big things. I expect big things.
How old you turning,